participated?
Okay, no, I didn't particularly, I didn't go on the streets, but I had a few individuals who actually went to the protests. So I had a lot of them. So they gave me on the spot of what was happening and how everything, cascade. They understand that at some point the looters and hijacked the protest, so it was really not, to be reckoned with eventually.
Oh, okay, marvelous. I said you didn't go to the
No,
street to
I
protest.
was, I was.
Just wondering, the hunger hasn't met with you, or you are
Oh,
feeding Nigeria so that we can send you some account numbers?
okay, no. The reason why I didn't participate was because I know how these things are. Basically, illiteracy has been weaponized in the north, and you can't walk with people who don't understand exactly where you are going. I don't know if you understand. So basically, I knew how it was going to turn out. I've been in the north all my life. I was born bred. I knew how it was going to turn out eventually. So I had to be friends who were like, no, you guys are not going anywhere and all of that. So basically, that was the reason I was not
Okay.
part of it.
And you're reporting from where again?
Kano, I'm based in Kano actually.
Okay. So, on the way and the manner uh, are handled, how do you see it? What's your reaction? Can we back from you on that?
Okay, so first and foremost, I would like to make it clear that most of the guys being arrested, we can't them protesters per se,
Mm.
because at some point it was, like I said, it was the bandits, the miscreants that were on the streets. There was serious looting, there was serious and some point in some northern states there were actually killings, but in Kano we didn't really have much of those killings. It was basically stealing. Do you understand? So those ones can't be called protests. I would like that to be made clear. So they were stealing, they were looting, some even taking, carrying the flag of Russia. It was like I said, the whole protest was hijacked by another party that seemed not to want Nigeria to have a good government, or want the masses to be heard. So the arrests that were made from the police, according to them, those people were the looters, and arrested the guy that was sewing the Russian flag, which I don't see the sense, because he probably is just looking for his daily bread, and you are arrested for just showing what he was asked to. So, the higher protest down north has been, I'm sorry to say, has been misused, it has been bastardized. The whole purpose of it has been defeated.
Okay, so marvelous. You feel that, or you think Taylor was just sewing, he didn't know what they're going to use it for. He was just so, like you said, earn a
Yeah.
living.
Like I said, there's a lot of illiteracy down north. So it's possible someone something and offered him money. Very, very important. Did it. So basically, it's just like, this is the job that I do. I'm sent. He just did it because he might not even know what the flag of Russia is, basically. So, who had intentions, who had the mind to use it for whatever they wanted to, just called him and said, okay, can you do this fix? Period. I don't see it as him knows or him instigating it. He didn't originate that movement. So, job as a
All right.
tailor.
Marvelous Cape of Kano, because in that protest, I saw a lot of underage people coming out.
Yeah.
Plus sponsored. Is it this same protests that we're talking about that they are coming out, or is there something else that you think is behind the numbers that have come out in the last few days? Quickly also, around the fact that there were a lot of under. Tell that this person is less than 15. You could tell this person is less than 10.
Yeah. Okay, so like I said, from the star hijack and all of that, that's most of the charade you see are actually sponsored. You understand? And most of these young ones don't really know why they are being told to come. So there was a lot of media on, what we call in the north. So there was a lot of come out, do this, in Hausa throughout the radio. The radio is the main media in the north. So whatever you need passed down, you can do it. So there was the announcement. So rather than orienting them, there was a total misorientation. And of course, the certain segment, because we still have a lot of, the emir tussle going on. So there's still a lot on ground already that people have issues with. Not necessarily the bad government and governance stuff. Still within, we still have our own personal tussle here. So these young ones will just be paid a little meager amount, like 500, to just come out in their mouth. You understand? And that's why it's piping down little by little now. Of course, their supply will definitely dry, or the supplier will get tired of having to pay them every day and give them incentives every day. That's one. Number two, so from my analytic perspective, see it that there's a lot to be covered. For example, we saw the looting that happened with the NCC. We saw some laptops were taken, some shares were taken. It's very possible that someone wants to cover something up. It's possible that embezzlement happened, and the best way to cover up this embezzlement is by saying, okay, things were looted, So even if things in millions were looted, you know that they'll be told that things in billions were looted. I'm sure yes, I can agree with you that some sections of these young ones were actually to do what they did. And yes, like I said, literacy is high. There are a lot of unschooled children on the streets. So when someone just gathers and says, let's do this, they will do it. It's that easy to mobilize people to come out on the streets and just put up a charade.
Right.
So yes,
Marvelous, can you confirm that, I don't know if I'm right, you said there was an announcement on radio for people to come out to protest. Like,
yes,
you hear that on radio?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. As a matter of fact, an announcement, the Hausa radio, right? There's an announcement that on Monday, prayer and fasting. You understand? So there has been upon announcement. That's why I said with the announcement for proper orientation as to what it is we're coming up. But then the announcement came in, no orientation, there was misconstruction and hijacked.
Wow, this is shocking. Can you explain what the announcement was about? Because down south, I think they were by the NBC cautioning media houses on how and why they shouldn't discuss already the protests. Yes, there were a lot of news and razzmatazz around the 1st of August. But media houses I monitored in the south did not come categorically and say, come out and protest. They just said, if you must go, you are civil about it. Can you give us, if you can, what the announcement was about? Was it just come out and protest, or just come out and follow what people, what exactly was the message about?
Okay, basically it was suffering, we're hungry, we are going through a lot, and protest against the government, that things need to let food get cheaper and all of that. Those were basically was about. Do you understand? That people should come out, their masses, generally isn't into protest as such. That's why I said misorientation should have been, an orientation should have been done, because in the north we don't protest, like even the religion does not allow protest of some sort. Do you understand? That's why even during SARS, the north was not a part of it, because it was supposed to be haram. You understand? But this time there was mobilization that, okay, you guys have to speak up. there's a lot going. The government, we're hungry. There's no food. Things are not going well. Fuel is expensive. Let's come out and talk to the government. So, and after this whole charade and shenanigans, I'm sure they realized there was nothing much that was going to come out of it. So now the new announcement is on Monday, there'll be prayer and fasting. Hopefully God will have mercy on the country. So that's yes, there was the announcement on the
Okay,
radio. Yeah.
Marvelous. There is this news that we received about the Kano State Government House. Can
Yeah.
you confirm to that and also explain, elaborate on what happened around it, if something happened?
Okay, so I was not there physically, but like some of the reports I got, some were trying to, clean house, they were stoning, but then there was police to make sure it didn't escalate. So nothing much really happened. There was an attempt, but the police was there to make sure they curbed the situation.
The attempt was for what? Is it to break in or to what?
Yeah, of course, to break in and loot. Most of what happened was the looting, vandalization. The idea was, there might be money in here, because like what happened, Vader yogurt was looted because of course they went in there, they picked yogurt, they Oasis Bakery,
Which
to
you got?
they took Rufai, actually an indigenous brand, Rufeda yogurt.
Okay, okay.
Yes, it's not down south, I'm sure, but it's really popular around here. Took in yogurt.
Okay.
There was a pop-up, and they vandalized, took all the entire truck was emptied. Understand? So basically, it was more of a hunger loot. So they attempted to go in and loot, of course.
All right. I just wanted to find out. Recently, the governor gave palliatives. There was this truck that was carrying a lot of wheelbarrow for palliatives. Did you see that, and how are people reacting to that particular news item?
Okay, so I heard about it, but I have no information on it. I don't know anyone close to me who partook in it and all of that. So I can't confirm how true that is, because I was not a part of it.
Okay, so in the final analysis, what the way and manner the security operatives have managed protests in the south? I'm sure you're also following what's happening in the south, and the protest south has practically dwindled, farther than what we are seeing in the north. Today, I also saw that there was also a protest in Kano, and even in Kaduna and some parts of. Do you think there's some difference, and how do you think that securities can, manage these people when they do come out in their number?
Okay, so for us in the north, actually, Kano to be precise, I would say it do well by the security. The whole situation could have escalated. As a matter of fact, it could have probably gone into, the story would have been different by now. At least we have curfew 6 to 6, so people can move out from morning to 6 in the evening. So it's pretty fair, especially in Kano. So security operatives, I'll give them an A. The way and manner they handled the situation, they didn't kill, there wasn't much killing, but they made sure it didn't escalate. You understand? So yes, the little one that the looting was enormous. They came out, handled the situation. They made sure it didn't escalate. They made sure it didn't escalate. And now really have much protesters on the streets. Things are going back to normal, little to here in Kano. Then for the south, I can't really say much about theirs, but I can say over here, we are handling it. Our security agencies are handling it very well.
Okay, with the interaction you've had with protesters, what exactly are they telling you? Aside what we know as the hunger and hardship protests, are they specifically what they're telling you? What exactly can you get?
All right, so from the original protesters, because of August 1st, there were actually people who came out civil people came out to actually protest, and they were talking about ending bad government, bringing back fuel subsidy. Some of the placards are bringing back fuel subsidy, and also cheap in the market, because, like, it's basically about food. Everybody wants to they can eat. The average Nigerian, actually, especially for those of us in the north, the average was wants to survive. So if basic food access is a problem, so some of them were talking about subsidy, they were talking about lean bad government, they were talking about making food cheaper, and actually those were the major things, at least, that I saw on the placard, the protesters that came out on August 1st.
What's the level of poverty and hardship in Kano State? What can you a little bit of an overview of, in comparison with what we see maybe Ibadan or maybe Lagos? What level of poverty exists in Kano? Because I thought that Kano State is big, its land is rich, and it has this fantastic agricultural system that brings quite cheap. So I'm wondering, because again, down south comes from the north.
Yeah.
Kano also plays a with that production of food. So I'm wondering, really, in hardship in Kano, are food expensive like we see in the south?
Exactly. Now, that shows you how much of the hardship. If we, the producers, can't even have access to the food used, it shows that a lot is going on. I'm telling you, if of course, I'm sure if I ask you the price of a bag of rice in your side, it might be expensive than ours, but it's usually not this expensive down north. That's why the complaint is enormous.
Well, how much is
So,
a bag of rice now in Kano?
so the last time I spoke to someone is about 50,000 naira thereabout. But you can actually
Wow.
foreign and local. And local, you can still get around 30 something local.
Wow.
And that's still that high.
Is that high in the north? I mean, in the south, it's around 80, 85.
Exactly, that's the point. The reason why you guys complain more is because we, the producers, are complaining it's high. Now, some have access to enough irrigation, some access to enough fertilizers. The prices of fertilizers have gone up. The farmer is complaining bitterly about the price of fertilizer. Go and do his farming as usual, which has become so difficult. The bag maize is always escalating. I cannot even tell if I go to it today to buy a mudu of maize or soya. I cannot tell you that's the price I'll buy it tomorrow. Is always increasing out. So there's no that stability is not there. So that shows that the level of hardship is enormous. Now, an average northerner would need like a bag of rice because we do a lot of masara. You
Okay.
understand? So we value our maize.
Okay. Marvel, is there anything that of Kano State or Northern government going to address the problem? Is there any immediate thing? Is it like, are they releasing palliatives, or what? Are they doing something, talking to the people? Is there anything that the government of Kano State, or party, as you could liaise with us, is doing to address the situations?
All right. So the news that got to me, there's a palliative actually on. I don't really know the depth of the truth of it, but I was told that bags of rice were sent in, meant to share in palliative and all of that. So I've not confirmed that news. I trust they are definitely doing something about it, because everything is calming down. People are going back to business as usual, little by little. I can say that there's a possibility that something will at the moment.
Okay, marvelous. Thank you so much. We will keep in up on this. Definitely, we will still reach you again to update us on the current happenings in Kano State and the northern environment as regards this protest.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, marvelous.